Where are you sending us?
Well, this is a fun one.
Streaming July 23rd on Paramount Plus, the hit series Star Trek Strange New Worlds returns.
You are facing the finest crew in Starfleet.
Boldly go one step closer
Any of these missions could be on Ost.
to where it all began.
We've seen a lot of strange new worlds, but we'll never see something like this.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds. New season streaming July 23rd exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your glade.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
All right. So what was... Kissel, you had a working theory about what makes a child more attractive. You said that it's confidence that makes your cum stronger.
What are you talking about? Oh, my goodness.
Because
lies.
I don't know if that's true. I just don't know if it's true. It seems like if you have a decades and decades worth of alcohol abuse and drug abuse, we're not talking about each other.
Right.
Technically we're talking about Stephen King, but if it would affect the looks of your children.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
No.
All right. Welcome to Side Stories, everyone. I am Ben Kissel. That's Henry Zabrowski.
Yes.
How you doing?
Yes, it is. And I'm good, man. I'm in Steel City, baby.
Yeah, you're in Pennsylvania. You're in Pittsburgh. That means you're a yinzer. That's what they call them out there.
What I like here is that the a Pittsburgh salad is a pile of French fries with lettuce wrapped around it.
Ooh, that's good.
It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Kissel, I've been meaning to broach this subject.
Okay.
I don't mean to sandbag this with you. I don't mean to do gotcha journalism. Because I don't want to do that to you. All right. Because normally,
I feel like you're about to do that, though. It seems like you're setting up to do exactly what you just said you didn't want to do.
No. Listen. All right. I've been hearing other shows do this thing called vulnerability.
Right.
Oh. Okay. And I've heard that other shows that people open up. Because our show is about us as us. It's like talking, just jabbering as friends, being friends, chit chat.
Sure.
It's like the Chew. This show is like the last podcast version of the Chew.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And so I felt
we
like
need a cooking segment, I think.
Yeah, which I have done already. We did it with the Patreon interview this week. I turned it into a cooking section.
Check out the Patreon interview. Great Patreon interview this week, all about Krampus. Of course, the evil character during Christmas, not an evil Santa Claus, but check out the Patreon interview.
You say evil, but I say technically on the right side of history and what we probably need in this country this day. Kissel. If that's not a hot topic, I don't know what it is. All right.
Right. What's your gotcha question? What is this?
Be vulnerable.
I'm always vulnerable. I'm king vulnerable.
I'm saying this is your moment to say something vulnerable.
Oh, I'm just supposed to present something vulnerable.
I'm just going to say something about your fears. Or,
I fear...
Did you throw up a lot as a teenager?
No, I did not throw up a lot as a teenager. I have a growing fear of flying. That's really starting to stress me out quite a bit.
It really is because we have to fly a lot more.
Yeah, we fly a lot more. I'm too big to do it. I think my weight alone will tip over like that man that we're going to cover here who stole that plane in Seattle. I think the plane is going to go upside down and inevitably end up crashing in the woods somewhere. That's a fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of no longer being loved. Those kinds of things. That's basically it.
Okay, good start.
Yeah, why do we have to do that?
We're bumping our numbers. So listen to me.
Oh, we're bumping the number.
This is what we're doing.
This is, by the way, okay, what's your vulnerability? This is what we're supposed to do?
Yes.
Is this good content?
I think so. My vulnerability? I work too hard.
Oh, my God. Oh,
yes. I think that's
all right. Well, we got a bunch of fun stories to get to, despite what Henry is. I'm just going to say he's a bit of a prick, ladies and gentlemen. Just between me and you and the audience. Just between me and the audience. All right. I want to talk about this story. Henry, I'm going to read this first story here. Now, this is about a woman, and her name is Amethyst Realm.
Okay.
And she says, I don't know if that's her birth name or not, or if that's just given to her by a wizard or something.
It's not.
Okay. And she says that she is in a serious sexual relationship with a ghost. They met in Australia, and they want to have kids together.
Great.
So isn't that exciting? Little ghost children.
I will say, because Casper could come sliding out, and wouldn't that be the cutest thing on the face of the planet?
Well, what is a ghost bait? Is it just a little poof out there?
I think
that has a different term.
It's a queef.
Yes.
That's what you said yesterday when we were talking about it. Yeah, it's a little queef. Yeah, it's a little
I keep
phantom.
it nice and PG.
Yes. Now, I wonder, what are the details? So how did she meet this ghost? How did she, what does this even mean?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a ghost version of Tinder or something like that. So she claims she has sex with ghosts, and she has now revealed she finally is in a serious relationship with one of them. So I think she kind of slept around the ghost community.
We're not shaming her.
Not shaming. I don't give a crap what you do. So she slept around the ghost community, and she found the ghost, I suppose D, that she liked the most, and she is ready finally to settle down. Amethyst Realm, she hit the headlines last year when she revealed that she has slept with 15 ghosts since breaking up with her fiance 12 years ago. So perhaps she's not quite over the breakup. I guess if you're the fiance, you're like, I don't know what happened. I am maybe just try to get back together with her.
Well, the one thing that's nice is always when someone, the one thing that always feels good is that if your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you break up, if they end up marrying or in a super long-term relationship with the person that they leave you for, great, then that's fine.
Sure.
The problem with having sex with ghosts is, number one, I can't see it or hear it. Right?
Right.
Is she just writhing around on a bed, just going and then and then she just feigns having the thing come, and is she just so horny that she can come from the air?
I guess so. I think it's easier for a gal to have intercourse with a ghost. That's just speculation. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you think it's easier. I just feel like if you're a guy, you got nothing. You got no friction in there. But if you're a gal, you got the emotions. You sense the ghost. We've all seen what was the name of that film with Patrick Swayze? I think it was called Ghost or something like that.
Yes, it's called
and
Ghost.
That was okay, but that was very romantic. So the ladies, they think about Patrick Swayze. They think about working on clay pots. They think, I can put a flower in that pot when I'm done with the sexual, kind of situation there. Perhaps it works out.
You just have to be the horniest woman in the world. I mean, I'll put it this way. There was a point. Or
heartbroken.
There was a point, I want to say around 22, 23. Now, this is much to the chagrin of my fiance or maybe my family. 22, 23, I could make myself come to orgasm without touching my penis, right? Because I was so gripped with it. With the spirit of horniness. Listen to me.
All right. So I'm just going to speculate, though. Your belly was quite large.
I could have rubbed the tip.
I think there was a constant rub. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have rubbed the tip against my own belly button.
That is a problem that you've dealt with.
It is possible. But if I was to say, have at that point changed my name to Ruby Pants General or Mr. Pearls, right? I could have said at that point as I was having sex with the ghost.
Yes.
And that makes fun. I think a woman, let me actually, my fiance's in the room. Natalie, can a woman come from the air?
We're going to get some expert opinions here coming in from Natalie.
Without
and the answer is they're no longer getting married.
She's leaving. She's packing her bags and she's walking out of the hotel room. No, she says that she says that if a woman catches the proper jet stream. But that's a ghost. That is a ghost.
So unlike fly in the plane, you want to hit some turbulence, and then it all works out. I don't know. So anyway, this woman, she decided to take things out of all the 15 ghosts. She found one that she loves, and she decided to take things to the next level and is in quote unquote a pretty serious relationship with this ghost. The ghost who Amethyst can't see but believes she can communicate and have sex with has now returned with her to the UK, and the relationship is progressing. I don't know. Do you buy it a plane ticket? Does it need a seat?
No.
I don't know. I don't understand how you travel with a ghost, or does it just fly along the plane, alongside it?
I guess, she's obviously somewhere between in desperate need for attention, slash mentally ill. And it could be both, right? But I also wonder, like, I'm going to try and put my believer's cap on that I do every once in a while and imagine she does have this weird type of entity. I'm imagining an Idris Elba.
Sure.
That is following her around, right? Like that type of ghost. But my thing is that I guess if you do believe you could have a child with it, if you believe that is possible, like you're doing some kind of magic working, like there is something along the idea of like what L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons did in order to bring about the Babylon working, where the woman would come that would host the Antichrist. But at some point, that woman would need to be real. Like you would still need the vessel. So what I imagine is going to happen is that some man is going to show up. If a man is smart enough to, because like any poker, it's a bluff is all about timing.
Sure.
So
I think a bluff is also a good name for a ghost baby. Call it a bluff. I don't know why.
But if
it's kind of fun.
A man right now, and I'm going to just put this out here in the universe. If you're listening to this and you're in the UK, if you find that this amethyst realm woman is attractive, she is. She's very pretty, very pretty. You show up at her apartment in colonial dress. Right, you're from Australia. You put on an Australian accent.
You like the ghost of Christmas past.
Yes.
All right.
And you show up at the house being like, Australian accent, being like, Shrimps had a Bobby. Oh, he's like, oh, hey there. That's bad.
That's horrible.
Australian. Hey, over there. Oh, I'm the ghost you've been fucking. Right? You show up.
That is the equivalent of an Outback Steakhouse when it comes to being authentically Australian.
Yeah, you go to put some shrimps on the barbie. And you go out
What
there.
is that? Is that a Midwesterner mixed with an Irish person who just happens to be hammered?
I don't know what it is. In order to do Australian, honestly, even on the show, in order for me to do Australian, I have to work up to it for about 20 minutes before the show to even practice it, and I'd even think of doing this accent. So what I would say is, you show up and you tell her you're the physical version of this ghost and you start fucking her and she'll have a baby.
I guess so.
And then the best part is that you could just disappear.
I suppose, yeah. You could literally ghost her and then she'd be like, that's my guy. This is what she told an Australian website, and the name of the website is New Idea. So the name of the Australian website is New Idea. She said, when it comes to the meeting of the ghost, how did you meet the ghost? Perhaps the questionnaire asked. She says, one day, while I was walking through the bush, I guess that's an Australian term for, bush, enjoying nature, I suddenly felt this incredible energy. I knew a new lover had arrived. She went on to say it's pretty serious. In fact, we've even been thinking about having a ghost baby. That's her words. I know that sounds crazy, but I've been looking into it, and I don't think it's totally out of the question. So it is getting serious there. Maybe we'll have to have a Ghost Maury Povich episode, figure out which one of these ghosts is the father. There's 15 of them. Perhaps there's a competition. I don't know.
Wait a second, my ghost baby. It's got Asian face. I've been cheated upon.
Oh, my.
Oh, super secret. Cheated upon.
Is that all? That's Cockney.
Cheated upon. Oh, no.
Oh, my
Somebody
God.
he's trying to slip his wick into me there. And then someone else jumped out, slipped a wick in there. Mislip. A bit of a mislip.
All right, yeah, your regular Heath Ledger over there. She believes the phantom pregnancies are actually ghost babies, claiming they don't go to term because the human body and the mind can't process them. So that's why she's not taking these ghost pregnancies to term. And last year, Amethyst appeared on This Morning to talk about the fact that she left her fiance after he caught her having an affair with a spirit. So she left the fiance because she was having an affair with a ghost. How can you imagine that? Losing your girlfriend to a ghost, how boring does that guy have to be?
Number one, it would be on brand for me. Mm-hmm. Number two, you dodged a bullet.
I guess
If this point, if you have to, I mean, honestly though, Kissel, like we shift it to like out of just like we're funny brain, like to your real life.
Right.
If Brooke showed up one day, right, you come in with puffing, you've had a long day, huffing back and forth, you've been yelling, you know what I mean? You're covered in sweat. You know.
That's me right now,
Yes. You show him in the living room. Brooke is like, we have to talk. And you sit down with her, and she's like, I have something to tell you, something honest. And you're like, get on with it, because, that's how it always starts.
Well, impatient, sure.
Yes. And she's like, I had sex with a ghost last night, and I think I have feelings for this ghost. Like,
right.
What would you, you'd just leave. You'd be like, oh,
no,
I'm
you
so glad that
roll
you did
it
this
in. Roll it in. Make it part of the family. Puffin, Ben, Brooke, and the ghost. It's a sitcom. and then at some point, we'll have to adopt a ghost when, the episodes start to kind of fall flat a little bit. I mean, whatever makes her happy. She told him, this is what Miss Realm says. She said, I could imagine you've got quite a name for yourself in the spirit world. That was the question. He asked her earlier when she had her first sexual encounter with a ghost. She said, it was 12 years ago. I was living with my fiance. He was working away a lot. And that's when she started to feel the presence. And that's exactly what happened to this guy, what Henry just described in theory or in a parable. But if Brooke broke up with me, that's exactly what happened. She said she's gone off men completely and has had sexual relationships with 14 ghosts, but asked if she would feel that way forever and someday she wants children. She says she believes she can get pregnant by having sex with a ghost. So we'll see what happens. We'll follow the story.
I honestly feel like there's going to be so many retweets of this story with hashtag me, hashtag goals. You know what I mean? I feel like there's going to be a lot of that. I do understand it. I feel like the dude kind of dodged a bullet here.
Right.
I think she's got a lot of stuff to work out.
Yes.
I think that this got a lot to do with resentment of the fact that he was traveling a lot for work.
And he was a ghost, yeah.
And he literally was a ghost to her in the house. And she's like, you better be careful because when you're gone, I'm going to be having sex with a ghost there. And he's just like, do whatever you want. All right. I'm in the kangaroo harnessing business. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He could be out there. God knows what he's doing. All right. And he's just trying to bring the shrimps home to put on the Barbie.
Right.
And so
absolutely. You have a great understanding of the Australian people, of love, romance. You got it all worked out. I would love to see this deleted scene in Love Actually where one of the characters has a ghost relationship. But to end this, to wrap this up, the interviewer did ask if the ghost sex ends in orgasm, and Amethyst says, for me, yes, which I think means that the ghost is Ghost Bluebolt.
He's not coming.
But she said, for me, yes, but the ghost, I guess, isn't. Maybe that's why she's not getting pregnant. I don't know. Anyway,
could you
that's
imagine
Amethyst Realm.
The ghost is like, oh, and she's like, I'm going. And he's just like, okay, I'm closest where I'm close. I'm having one. And then she's like, just rolls over, starts making a sandwich, and then he's just standing there being like, wouldn't it be nice if both of us could orgasm?
He's got kind of a cuckold situation, maybe. All right, so that's that story. Let us know. DM me on Instagram at BenKitsa1. Have you maybe had a relationship with a ghost? Let's hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I will say is I'm really glad we started with a serious story so that we could really segue properly into the story of this man who stole a Horizon airplane from Seattle Airport this weekend.
Horrifying.
And he crashed it into an island. It's horrifying just simply because it can be done.
It seemed to be done relatively simply. This dude who hijacked it, Richard Russell, I like that name, Richard Russell. He was 29 years old. He ended up stealing this plane. He worked for Horizon Air. He handled the luggage and towing aircrafts and things like that.
Yeah, he did. He had the cones. He's the one who directed them into position.
Which, that's always what, all the TSA stuff, Henry, maybe you'll agree with me. I'm like, it's someone on the inside. That's who scares me the most. No one's traveling. They want to get from point A to point B and do whatever they got to do whenever they get there. It's someone on the inside who's a disgruntled worker. That's who's going to end up doing something bad.
TSA, more like the theater of security that they do each day. I know for a fact when I was stripped because Delta forgot to put my my pre-check on my phone, and I forgot about it. It's been a really long time. It's been like 2 years since I've had to go through normal security. All of a sudden, I'm going through. I'm taking off my pants. they're sucking on my feet. I was like, why are we doing this?
Goodness.
But no, but this is pretty intense. The man referred to as Richard by air traffic controllers in tense recordings. They just said, he said to them, he's just a broken guy. Oof. And then he took this plane up,
right,
which he apparently learned how to do from video games, doing flights, which is very interesting.
Crazy
that you could just do it, because I thought it was way more technical than that. You see the cockpit, and I think on a bigger plane it is, but I know for a fact, I've heard pilots say this, is that, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, is that the one parts where the pilots have total control of the plane are takeoff and landing.
Right. That's it.
The rest of it is done by computers.
It's all autopilot, and that's what happened in that one flight, that plane that crashed in Buffalo a couple of years ago. It got a licey because they did it on autopilot the whole time, and they're like, click, 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 when it was time to land, and the whole plane was frozen. So I don't even know, like, I feel bad for pilots that really like to fly because they just mostly sit there like any other passenger eating egg sandwiches and stuff.
Honestly, it's the best seat in the house.
I guess so.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic job. You're in there, like, you're hanging around. You got that cool uniform. You get to drink for free at the airplane bar. You can have 2 or 3 before you get on that plane. Just keep yourself loose.
Yeah, maybe.
But so he took the plane up. He did some pretty harrowing maneuvers.
Right.
Like, he was spinning. He was doing a lot of 360s. He was doing a deep dive, pulling it up. I'm actually very surprised he didn't pass out. And they had to scramble jets because of the ongoing mission. Basically, this thing called Noble Eagle, where they jump into action where as soon as something like this happens. So he had jets fucking tailing him everywhere, ready to blow him out of the sky. But he was like, he fueled the plane for going because he said he wanted to go check out the Olympics, which is the Olympic mountains.
Oh.
And that they eventually, they were talking and asking him for, like, hey buddy, what's like, you're gonna want to bring that plane down soon.
I mean, how does that go? Just like, hey, so we see you in the plane. Like, well, what's going on, bud?
What's going on, buddy? What's up? What's up with you, buddy? Not to be tense about it, but you kind of have one of our planes there. And he said he asked for the coordinates to the killer whale. There's currently a killer whale shepherding her dead calf through Washington coastal waters for nearly 3 weeks. It was, I guess, it was shown on the news.
Oh,
and he's like, the mama orca with the baby. I want to go see that guy.
Really? Well, then why wouldn't he hijack a boat? It's a plane. It's
And what we have here is some actual recording of Rich talking to the air traffic control. So I think it's about 2 minutes long.
All right.
I got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them. Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now.
There is the runway just off your right side in about a mile. Do you see that? That's MacLeod Field.
Oh man, those guys will rough me up if I tried landing there. I think I might mess something up there too. I wouldn't want to do that. Hopefully, they probably got anti-aircraft.
No, they don't have any of that stuff. We're just trying to find a place for you to land safely.
Yeah, not quite ready to bring it down just yet, but holy smokes, I gotta stop looking at the fuel because it's going down quick. This is probably like jail time for life, huh? I mean, I would hope it is for a guy like me. Very good. Nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before. I would like to figure out how to get this cabin altitude. Like, I know where the box is. I would like to make it pressurized or something so I'm not so lightheaded. Nah, I just told you I don't want to hear no one. I just want you to whisper sweet nothings into my ear. Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
If you wanted to try, that might be the best way to set up and see if you can land there. Or just like the pilot suggests, another option would be over Puget Sound into the water.
Dang, did you talk to MacLeod yet? Because I don't think I'd be happy with you telling me I could land like that, because I could mess some stuff up.
Well, Rich, we already talked to him, and just like me, what we want to see is you not get hurt or anybody else get hurt.
Hey, I want the coordinates of that orca with the mama orca with the baby. I want to go see that guy.
on the ground.
All right. Nah, damn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was going to be it, you know? I'm going to land it. In a safe kind of manner. I think I'm going to try to do a barrel roll. And if that goes good, then I'll just go nose down and call it a night.
Oh,
wow.
All right. Well, he is like John Belushi in 1942, that very bad movie that was the follow-up to Animal House that no one really watched. Not the follow-up to Animal House, but a second film. But that was crazy.
But after listening to the recording, it makes me kind of sad because he seemed like a kind of a normal, fun guy that some reason came to the edge. And like, what a shame that he couldn't have figured out how to speak to somebody before it got to that point. Like, like I think we talk about it on the show all the time. If you're feeling crazy thoughts, these weird sort of impulse control thoughts, like it's going to reach out to somebody and say, hey, what if I took one of these planes tomorrow? And so your buddy can be like, let's not do that.
Yes.
Maybe that's a bad idea.
He seemed like a jovial dude. But obviously totally out of step with the seriousness of the situation on account that he just stole the plane. And an impulse, I understand lack of impulse control, but my God, once you get a plane up in the air, that's really, that's not a good thing.
Honestly, from him saying, I kind of thought that this would be it, I legitimately think that it was a suicide attempt. I think that it was a suicide attempt, and he didn't really realize it until he was doing it.
Right.
And then you have all these kind of like long, drawn out thoughts. I'm certain that this story will be gone through. I don't know if he left any letters or if he talked with anybody about why he did it. I'm really thankful that he didn't kill a bunch of other people.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like a part of it's like, man, it can also just show you. But and again, like whatever security measures you have, there's really not a lot you can do to sort of hold back the human spirit if they want to create a bunch of fucking mayhem.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of part and parcel for what it is.
That to me is the scariest part of all this. Like I think it was a little too easy. I'm just going to say it was too easy for this guy to steal a plane. I think that is the case. I don't even know. Don't you have to have keys or something? Like, how do you start these things? Like, I mean,
there's a social contract that states, hey, don't fly planes into things. Like this idea of like, it's like we have cars on the highway where part of the kind of the thing that we all agree to is that I'm not going to jerk the wheel into oncoming traffic. Yes, I think about it every 15 minutes.
You do.
My therapist calls that intrusive thoughts.
Right.
It's the whole point of that. It's about like, it is a purposeful thought that your brain does just to kind of be like, are you crazy? And it's like, I'm not that kind of crazy. I'm just the kind of crazy that needs 2 or 3 scotches to go to sleep.
That's totally normal. You're a 1940s detective kind of crazy. You know, stressed out.
I'm stressed out. I'm on the hunt for the truth.
Sure.
And guess what? Where the truth doesn't lie. In my dreams.
Yeah, and in sobriety, apparently. The also thing, you know what else is funny about the human mind, Henry? You know what it is?
What?
Cute, like puffin? Or the human brain says, I want to squeeze it and I want to kill it. That's an actual phenomenon. The human mind is like, if it sees something super cute, for some reason we have a primal desire to kill it. I don't know why.
Is it just because we're afraid for it? We're afraid for its own life? It's like we've been taking Wendy through downtown Pittsburgh and it's like, and she's just so like little tiny dog in the big city, but she wouldn't make it.
No.
If she was on her own.
She seems to like the beach though.
She does not.
She does not.
She likes the sand. But she is very, very scared of the lake.
Well, yeah, that's why I said the beach is the sand. The lake is the water.
For me, a beach is a combination of water and sand because sand is just desert.
All right.
If it's just sand, it's just a desert. And I will fight you to the fucking death over this conversation. If this is how it's got to go, if this is how our friendship has to end, I'm willing to let it end like this.
All right. Where the water meets the sand, that is where we draw the line. And we will fight ourselves. We will fight to the death. Also, I want to talk about this story. Henry, this story is Joe Hill. He's the son of Stephen King, and he's
a looker.
He looks a lot like Stephen King after a lot of coke or something. But anyway, he's a great guy. Lock and Key is a great graphic novel, and you like all of his books, this Joe Hill guy.
I've legitimately read the majority of his books. I've read 20th Century Ghost Rules. Heart-Shaped Box Rules kept me up at night. I loved, what was it? What was the other one? It was Joe Hill books. It was the one where everything was on fire. It was The Fireman. That one was very interesting, very closer to his father's work. I'm about to start working on Strange Weather once I'm done reading The Three Body Problem, which I'm currently in the middle of the third book.
Jeez, you know this guy, I'm just going to say he writes a lot. So he wrote an article. He has a theory.
Yes, he does. He's a professional author.
Oh.
That's what they do.
Oh,
they
I
have
see.
to do it. You know that his middle name is Hillstrom.
Hillstrom.
That's where it comes from. His full name is Joseph Hillstrom King. So I guess that's why he went as Joe Hill, huh?
I guess so. Interesting. He could have gone by Joe Hillstrom, I suppose. It sounds like a last name, not a middle name. I don't think that is a name, but okay. Good for him. So anyway, there is this is the title of this article: the true story behind wild theory that Jaws, the film Jaws, could identify a woman found almost beheaded near the beach. So this is this really tragic story from 1974. The woman is called the Lady in the Dunes. She was nearly decapitated. Both of her wrists were cut off when she was discovered, and her hands were replaced with sticks and with needles, with pine needles and things. And this is still
horrifying.
Completely unsolved. She had a blue bandana tucked underneath her head, and her Wrangler jeans were folded up like a pillow, still unsolved after over 50 years here, 1974. And Joe Hill thinks this woman may have been an extra in the film Jaws. If you pause it, I believe it's at 54 minutes and 2 seconds. I think that's when it is. You see a woman wearing, 54 minutes and 2 seconds into the film, you see a woman wearing the same blue bandana. She looks very close with the brunette hair. However, she does have different jeans on, but this isn't being totally discredited by people who have studied this, investigators who have studied this over the years. They say any evidence is possibly true. So they say this could be right.
It is a very interesting theory. And the FBI said when he spoke with the FBI about it, they were like, honestly, we have broken things on less than this.
Yes.
So they're going to start trying to pull through it, because very scary case.
Totally.
Where it's just like a woman essentially just left, and very in True Detective style placed, because what do we know from True Detective, and what have we learned from Silence of the Lambs and shit like that, is that they wanted her to be seen.
Right.
It's a statement. It's supposed to be this is my version of a Joe Hill book.
Right.
Except I'm doing this instead of spending years of doing cocaine.
Yes.
And working in a basement.
Right. Well, the interesting thing is they say that she was most likely killed elsewhere. She was found 100 miles away from where the beach scene that was shot. And so they say she was killed elsewhere and brought there, as Henry just said, as almost like an art exhibit. Which, I mean,
yes.
You wonder, did this person kill more people? I mean, this is like out of the movie Seven or something. It's horrifying to think about.
Well, hopefully, this is the kind of the weird-ass thing that breaks it, that all of a sudden it's this very random occurrence. Because I always find that very interesting. How many times do we see in serial killer cases that weird little bits of random information are the thing that breaks it, that ends up like catching the guy? We recently saw it with, what's his name? Michelle McNamara's book.
Yes, Golden State Killer.
The Golden State Killer.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So this is, according to Hill, he wrote this. This is in a blog post. He said, "It would be no surprise at all if a girl summering on the Cape decided to take a few days to explore the vineyard, especially with the added bait of celebrity to draw her in." He goes on to say, this is according to an FBI agent, who read Hill's blog. He said, it might be worth going forward with your theory. There might be something in it. Odder ideas have cracked colder cases, so who the hell knows? But either way, it would be nice if they could get some closure there.
Yeah, as long as I just can't have another beloved star taken from me. And if this is Richard Dreyfuss, I am going to be beside myself.
Yes.
Okay, because I know he's a jerk off.
No.
But, wow.
Well,
wow.
I know his son. His son is a nice guy. I don't know. So this is, again, according to the little blog, he said, 2 astonishing things happened on the Cape in the summer of 1974. One is that Steven Spielberg filmed Jaws, and the other is that someone murdered this woman in the dunes outside Provincetown and got away with it. Anything that stirs people's memories could potentially be productive. I believe that was that was Hill. So it's interesting.
Except if
stuff.
it's every Teamster in the world and every
Yes.
set that's ever been who's been like, yeah, I remember she had a nice bottom, right, Joey? Oh, and you're like, yeah.
Oh.
And they all used to be smoking cigarettes, but now it's vape.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I will say though, I love the crew. You gotta love the crew. They're always the best.
I love
people.
Teamsters.
Love them.
Please
the crew.
don't. We're in the middle of Iceman, okay? I don't want to piss off the Teamsters. All right, I know what happens. I love the Teamsters. Transpo is incredibly important, and they need their breaks.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. They have to have those breaks once an hour for 15 minutes of that hour.
Right. And this lady, she's 5'6" or 5'10" or 5'6" to 5'8", 150 pounds. She was found by a young gal who was walking her beagle. Once again, I don't even know if I'm going to take Puffin out for walks anymore. It just seems like nothing good ever happens when you go on these journeys.
You do take Puffin out quite a bit, which I think is really nice.
I do.
And
yes, he loves to be outside.
Yeah, he's being outside. It's nice, but he's gonna find a hand. He's got that cute little face too, where he's gonna have those big eyes. You know, you're gonna look over and you're like, "Oh, Puffin, what you got there, buddy?" And then he's gonna be like, it's gonna be a severed penis in his hand. He's like, and it's like, oh
my God.
It'll be great for the show, though.
Yes, that reminds me of our Iceman episodes. Richard Kuklinski, he is. Stay tuned for part 3. I think it gets more disgusting from here.
There's a lot more ball torture.
Yeah, I was thinking about this again yesterday. Just obsessed with the ball torture. I just don't. I would say leave it alone, but that's just me.
Well, yeah. I mean, but Kissel, you're trying to make people feel pain.
Yeah, I know that.
You're going for it. That's what my father always said. He's like, if in your fight, he's like, it doesn't make you a pussy to punch the guy in the balls.
But
he's like, you got to go for the balls. You got to mess with the balls. You got to pinch on him. You got to suck on him a little bit to freak him out. Nothing freaks a guy out in the middle of a fight more than you just start sucking his dick.
Yeah.
Like he gets really upset, or he's just like, you open him up. Yeah. And then he starts crying.
Sure. Well,
thinking about his whole past. He doesn't know where he's coming from, where he's going. He doesn't know what he's got to change. He doesn't know what he's got to tell his wife.
Yeah, I would like to see that episode. I think it's the UFC reality show Ultimate Fighter. If a trainer was just it was a very special trainer who's just like, what you got to do? Get down and just start, fellatio.
You got to weaponize love.
Right.
That's what it's about. I wanted to talk a little bit briefly. I mean, we're going to be closing out the show here pretty soon. Right. I'm just going to say this. If you want to pop open a pretty decent sized rabbit hole for yourself and be able to get lost in it and make yourself kind of alienate your family a little bit, which I like to do every once in a while just to show that I still can.
Sure.
The death of Max Spears. This was a guy recently. So the reason why it popped back up on the news is that Max Spears was a ufologist / conspiracy theorist from Britain who was recently in 2016 was found in Poland sleeping on the bed of on the couch of what may or may not have been his girlfriend, who was a reporter named Monica Duval.
Wait a
from
second.
Poland.
May or may not have been his girlfriend. Isn't that something that they would like? Are you his girlfriend or are you not his girlfriend?
And she was like, I don't know.
Okay.
And so they went and basically he was found vomiting up black fluid out of his mouth, like 2 liters of black fluid, and he died.
Okay.
And a couple of weeks ago, the Polish police force issued back his computers and phone back to his family, and they were wiped clean. Now, this is obviously an opportunity to make a joke about the Polish police force, but it is also highly strange, because a part of what Max Spears' job was, obviously, you could say he's full of shit, but then you'd stop the rabbit hole.
Sure.
He said that he was a part of a thing called Project Mannequin.
Okay.
Now, this is where the rabbit hole is.
All right.
Project Mannequin was the UK's version of MK Ultra. I have not done the full research into it yet to find out if it was real or not, but essentially the story was broken by a man named James Casbolt in the early 2000s, where he said that as a boy, because of specific abilities that he had as a little baby boy, and because his family was connected to the Illuminati, he was brought to the UK's version of Area 51, AL499, and he was trained to do things like control sound waves with his brain. In order to manipulate people. He was a super soldier. And that Max Spears says that he was a part of the same problem. Now, he was part of the same program.
Okay.
Now, he says that when you hit 30, the problem is that once you hit 30, your programming starts breaking down. You start remembering your memories.
Oh, like
and
someone who is like a child star in the Disney Channel.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting. All right.
Like all of a sudden you're like, I remember every producer. And then all of a sudden you get to tell everybody.
Leave Brittany alone.
It's just nice that our brain saves us like that.
Yes.
Number one. Thank you, brain. But Max Spears, this is just a tiniest scratch of the surface.
Okay.
Because there are many things involved here. Because Max Spears seemed to have a lot of problems with opiates. His last interview, which was put up a couple of days after his death, is unfortunate. It is him slurring, completely incoherent. He says he was under psychic attack, but I think that he was under psychic attack from himself, from the heroin he was using, but I don't know.
I gotta ask.
That's what he says.
I gotta ask, on a scale of Jesse Camp, the former MTV VJ, or Boy George when he was giving the interview, high on heroin, and then he kept on falling asleep on the pin on the ballpoint pen, and then at the end of it he had all these little markings like he was some kind of astrological, like he was some kind of, what do you call that? Like a star map. Anyway, what was he like? Jesse Camp to Boy George.
I'd put him between the two I would include them in that with a George H. Bush, first Bush, George Bush Sr. passing out in the lap of the Japanese emperor.
Oh, okay, yes.
I would put him in there.
Situation.
Yes,
I
would put him in there. That is a 90s reference.
Yes, everyone gets it.
For those of you that are very young. But also the problem with James Casbolt is that he's been put in jail for 12 years for harassing his former girlfriend, saying that he was going to kill her whole family, blackmail her whole family, unless they gave him $2 million. And then it found out that he had been stalking many, many women online by creating these fake personas and harassing them. One of them being, he became known as not as the Slender Man, but the Slender Space Man. And he started harassing people online, and then on his blog, for some reason, he kept terrifying her, creating a fake account called the Slender Man and pranking her through Facebook, like saying like he's really the Slender Man coming to kill her, like in an unfriended scenario. And then in one of his blogs, Casbolt for some reason wrote, when it comes to scaring women, you got to make it as evil and as horrifying as possible.
Okay.
And I actually think that also applies to men.
Yeah, when it comes to scaring anyone, it seems like the guy probably needs to be behind bars. He might be a total predator. And the Slender Spaceman will always be David Bowie. So he does not get that whatsoever. But he does not get that title.
But he does have a lot of claims, James Casbolt. The problem is that Max Spears also said that he had the same powers. It said that he could be in charge of a thing called LERM, which is light encoded reality matrix, which you could like think about things that you need, kind of like in the Matrix, and you could put them in your brain. He said that I'm trying to find all of the different karates that he was good at because they don't sound real. I want to find out if somebody else has seen the it's like Kumjut King. It was a couple of things that I've not really heard of before that I'm certain that I know there's many variants of martial art. He did, so I don't know what's real or what's not. I don't think a lot of it's real.
Well, they don't seem to be very credible. I do like that he's into a lot of karate. That's always an interesting personality type that loves karate, not demeaning or maligning any people who love karate. But it does take a specific person because it's my understanding that they don't really hit each other, but they do get points. And I never understood how karate works, how competitions work. I'm not maligning because they're strong.
Please.
I'm not.
Can we please not make fun of people in the martial arts world?
I'm not. I love them.
They are very serious. I just, he just says he's done a lot of things that I don't think that he's done.
All right. Well, that is.
But he did. But I will say he does it at educate/yourself.org. educate-yourself.org. He has a really good breakdown of how the triggering commands are supposed to do, because essentially it's a very Project Mannequin was very similar to the MK Ultra thing, where they have triggering techniques.
Okay.
Where it's like one of those is that you get a call, you get an electric message. One of the real mannequin codes is blasted at you, like this one, which is Lima 1172 Bravo Mike XXX XX, and then you hear the code signal. The puppets are mobile.
Uh-oh.
It is we who pull the strings.
Oh my!
But apparently, this also connects to Robert Pickton and his concept of murdering sex workers in order to work for a clone agency, that he would use the empty bodies of the clones to put the brains of the celebrities that were working out of Buckingham Palace with Queen Elizabeth in order to surreptitiously work about the needs of the New World Order using the power of celebrity, but in the bodies of these Vancouver sex workers.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to say, you never know what people are thinking about. And that's why I don't explore too much. I just kind of, let's keep it to the surface there. Everyone, dismisses small talk. They say, I don't like small talk. I like small talk. Big talk is when you start thinking about things like that.
You see, this is the problem, is that the less life you lead without truly examining yourself, Kissel. This is what I was saying about being vulnerable at the beginning of the show.
I was very vulnerable, yes.
But you're going to be very afraid of the ideas that pop up if we don't have these big conversations.
Right.
You have to be able to express them. I have to be able to say whatever controversial thing comes out of my mind.
Sure.
Because if not, it festers.
Right. Yeah. And of course, naturally, and it's always great to am I going to have a career tomorrow? Kind of fun.
Yeah. I like setting little landmines for all of us.
Sure.
It doesn't really matter, because if the time comes, it's already out there.
Don't steal a plane, okay? Well, you mentioned Slender Man just very quickly. My home state of Wisconsin, that's where the Slender Man stabbing happened. That movie, there's a movie coming out called Slender Man, and the Marcus Corporation, it's a theater chain in Wisconsin, they have said they will not be showing the film in the locations around, nor in the town that Slender Man stabbing took place. However, it will be showing the films in Milwaukee and Waukesha counties. So kind of interesting. That stabbing, of course, was in 2014, and there's a documentary on Netflix about it. So I understand why that film is a little bit controversial there in my home state.
Do these people not really think that the true proxies of Slender Man with his incredible cock wouldn't take the green line to Waukesha in order to see the movie and pay tribute to their master?
I have no idea. I'm sure people will go and watch. I don't know if the movie's going to be any good, but it is.
People drive for 2 or 3 hours for good cock, I've heard.
Yeah, and for good movies, especially when you live in a small town in Wisconsin, that may or may not have a movie theater.
I've heard it's not a very good movie.
No, I don't. It doesn't look very good. They butcher a lot of these kinds of internet phenomenons, I think.
Because it's very good.
What?
That Sharp Objects at HBO.
I heard it's good. All right. Well,
I am loving it.
I know.
I am loving it. You know what else is also good?
What?
I Am a Killer on Netflix. You would like that. It's about death row.
Ah, yes, that would be very good.
You love things about prison.
Oh, it's interesting. We got to reform it, but that's not for this show. All right, everyone. Well, those are the main big fun stories in the true crime news this week. Feel free
as always.
Yep.
Send them to us.
Yeah.
We should set up our own email for this, so people could just start sending stories to that, because I'm basically completely checked out of Twitter. I know you're barely in and out.
Well, I got to do. You can DM me at Ben Kissel 1 on Instagram, and I'll find
you could do the same thing for me. My Instagram, I'm still active on Instagram, so you can DM me on Instagram at Dr. Fantasty if you have any good stories. But we should set up our own email for the next time so that we could start just having an account. We can log all the stories. Log
them. That's fine. But for now, the Last Podcast Network at gmail.com. You can feel free to use that. Send us your stories. Yeah, perhaps we'll have a different email next week. Who knows? But yeah, and we'll see everybody in Phoenix. And in, is it Santa Rosa or Santa Ana that we're going to?
Santa Ana.
We're going to Santa Ana. Okay.
But I would say this, man. Hey, we know what we got to be careful of in Phoenix is these haboobs.
What's that?
Haboobs are dust storms that have been attacking Phoenix recently. Gigantic, massive dust storms. So scared.
Yeah.
And I'm driving there. I'm going to take pictures.
Well, why would they name it a haboob?
I think it's another culture.
I guess so. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for listening. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan. If you're going to be alive, And if you're not loving, you better be laughing.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? Because if you're not loving, you just sitting there with your friends at night, laughing with your freedom, getting drunk, punching each other in the face. No love. And then what happens is that one day you just die in your apartment, and you know who finds you? The landlord.
Maybe that's not good. Or
that's what happens. No one will care. No one will look for you if you don't have love. Not to make but you feel bad.
No.
I mean, but that is the case. That is truly the case. Find someone, anyone. Settle if you have to.
Hey, even find a ghost. That seems to work for people too.
Plan B made over-the-counter emergency contraception legal more than 20 years ago. It's a safe, effective backup birth control option that helps prevent pregnancy before it starts by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is the #1 OBGYN recommended brand and the only one you can find at all major retailers in all 50 U.S. states. There's no minimum age requirement and you don't need an ID to buy it. You can order it through DoorDash and other major delivery platforms too. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help your business stand out and succeed online. Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid, all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. The best part about it is it can help you design a funnel in which you can very quickly record commercials so that you can get it done while you are desperately trying to get on break. That's the best part about Squarespace. It can really shorten up the time you spend doing things. You got to get in there. Use Squarespace. Man, is it fast. It is absolutely incredible. You're going to love your experience at Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.